Take a look at this. Derrick Henry, we've talked about how good he has been. Rushes first, rush yards first, rushing touchdowns first, yards per rush first, rush first downs first, longest rush first, scrimmage yards first, scrimmage touchdowns first. Every single category running the football, Derrick Henry, who is coming into Cleveland to face a Browns defense that hasn't been good against the run, he ranks first in the NFL. What have you seen from Derrick Henry when you've looked at him this year, Dalton?
You've seen everything that makes Derrick Henry a Hall of Famer: the size, the speed. Even I think he's always had underrated vision for a back that's big and that's that big. And you've got a guy. He's just one of the hardest. He might be the hardest guy in football to tackle. Right? You talk about he's forced 25 missed tackles this year, which is actually only fourth, but he's just a monster. He's always been a monster, and it seems even now at 30 years old, it's just not slowing down. And in an offense too, when you have Lamar Jackson alongside of him, when they run those option plays or when you're in the shotgun, and as well as Lamar has been throwing the ball, it's just there's so much space for him to work with right now. In the last couple of years in Tennessee, everybody knew, look, you load the box, they're probably not going to throw it over your head, but it all goes together. When we talked about before with Lamar and how well he's throwing the ball, it's all complementary, and Henry's taking advantage of every bit of space that's given to him. And I think it helps too that he's got a guy like Justice Hill who can come in on third down and take some of the passing downs. But Henry's a monster. You're just seeing why he's going to make the Hall of Fame one day. He's got all the tools in the box.
He might go over 2,000 yards again. He's done it once, and if he stays healthy, I can't believe he won't go over 2,000 yards again this year.
Yeah, no, for sure. He could break Eric Dickerson's rushing record the way he's running right now. I mean, it's the explosive runs, too. It's the fact that he still has the speed to him, that he can pop off an 80-yard run at any time. He's amazing. I mean, he's really one of the best, if not the best, of this generation that we've seen. It's just incredible what he continues to do. And this was the nightmare for every other opposing team, right? When you talk about, he's joining this Ravens team and Lamar Jackson, and they're in the same backfield. And we've seen every bit of that so far. Right now, there's not a great answer to stopping it other than just, buckle up and see how hard you can hit him before he starts to slow down.
All right, PFF matchup to watch. Ravens, Browns. It's Derrick Henry against linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Past week, Henry racked up an 11.3 yards per carry on his way to over 180 all-purpose yards, touchdown. Third game this season, having earned an 80-plus offensive grade. Taking down a bruising back is team effort, but surely JOK will take the lead in that. Currently holds 92.4 PFF run grade defensively, second highest among linebackers. So that's the good news. You got a linebacker who's good against the run, but boy, he's going to need to show up big time against Henry.
Yeah, he is, and the one big thing, what's supporting that grade is he's such a good athlete, and his quickness is so good, and he's been able to shed blocks all year, and that's going to be the first key against the Ravens offensive line that has some new starters on it, right? 3 new starters they came into the year with, and they've been a little bit inconsistent, right? So I think Owusu-Koramoah, his biggest strength right now is shedding blocks and getting to the football. The biggest key to this matchup against Henry, though, is tackling. There's only 3 players in all of football who have missed more tackles than Owusu-Koramoah. So he's certainly getting to the ball, but what you're seeing is times where he's getting there and he's not quite finishing the play. When you're going up against Derrick Henry, you better finish the play, or we already know he can take it a long way on you. It is a very interesting matchup to watch, because I think he is the biggest problem, outside of Myles Garrett, of course, I should say, but he's the biggest problem right now in run defense when it comes to where he is. He lines up in all sorts of different spots. He's a great athlete. He can really run. He can shed blocks, but he's got to finish plays and make tackles in this game against Henry to really slow down the Ravens offense.